Hey, hello guys, hello everyone. I hope I'm audible and visible to all of you. Just let me mute this. Yeah. Good evening everyone. It started. Yeah, sorry guys, we are late by 4 minutes. We are really sorry. We are starting. Just give me a good like thumbs up or anything in the chat, like fire emoji or whatever your favorite emoji, so I can get a confirmation that I'm audible and visible to all of you. Oh, hello, hello Rohit, hello Suraj, hello Khushi, early bird is saying yo, Gen Z people, right? Okay, it's okay, okay, good. I think I'm good to go now, right? Let's get started. Yeah, let's get started. But before starting our learning for today, before starting learning Java, to get started with Java DSA, my bad. So let me just give you a quick, you can say, intro on how what you need to do to get that certificate at the end of day 5. I'm just waiting for some guys. I can see 60 people are right now watching, but I'm just waiting to join some more students so we can start. Till then, just let me know why you want to learn DSA or Java. Not particularly for Java or DSA. You can say both, right? Or you can say Java and DSA. What we are going to learn in next 5 days, right? So, yeah, Navin, I am also a RCB fan. RCB won. Just a good news for RCB fans. Visible, yes, start. I think we need to start now. I can't wait anymore because I can see only 70 students watching. Can you guys just go and tell your friends that this is a free program going on Let's Upgrade YouTube channel. You can come here, you can enroll and get a certificate. So we can get some audience or this is students in the chat. I can see only 70, and out of that, I can see only 10 or 15 students are telling something like communicating with me in the chat, right? Mm, for knowledge placement purpose, right? I mean, Java and DSA have a huge amount of pool, you can say, placements, openings in the market right now in India. I think for Java developers, there is around 1,25,000 openings. So you can say you can get placed and get a lot like high package in Java DSA. Get to good knowledge about DSA. DSA is actually, you can say, must if you want to get into tech right now because uh, no matter if you are a front end guy, back end guy, or a full stack guy, the company, which companies like man companies, you can say, the big companies will ask DSA questions in your first level interview. So this is something DSA is becoming must if you want to get into tech. Time complexity knowledge. It's only for, yeah, Rohit. It will be for 3 days of 2 hours of session with our expert developer who is actually working with DSA and Java in the industry right now. So you can say you'll get a lot of in-depth knowledge and some tips and tricks on how you can go into that tech industry for Java and DSA, right? So I'll start now. I can't see that many guys still. The guys, what I can see, 70 students. I think all of the others are watching IPL, so we can start now. Uh, I want to become a backend developer in Java and Spring. Absolutely, sure. You can become a backend developer in Java, or you can then learn DSA or data science in Java, right? So we'll start. I hope that you all guys are watching this on YouTube. So on YouTube, you can see there is a description here, and you can see a one link. If you are not registered on like in this program, if you want to get that certificate, you just have to register in this program. You have to mark your attendance daily, and you have to submit the assignments which you have on day 3, day 4, and day 5. Sorry, we have 3 days of bootcamp. I just forgot that because we used to have 5 days of bootcamp. So you have that assignment on day 2 and day 3. Just my bad, just like a confusion in my head, right? So you just have to go here, register. If you are not registered, make sure to enroll, or you can say register. Then you can see a tab like this. You just have to scroll down and mark your attendance daily. When I say daily, on day 1, day 2, and day 3, you will get a like toggle to mark your attendance. Just click on that. If you think that this is a good session and you're learning a lot of things in this session, you can go and tell your friends that this is a good program and you should also join that. You can click on 10 if you're interested in doing full stack data science or web development program along with this learning of Java and DSA. You can click on yes if you think we need to have some improvements in our essential program, if you say communication or mic quality, video quality, or the overall curriculum what we are teaching. So you can go ahead and give that feedback. For now, I will say nothing. and submit my attendance. Now after submitting my attendance, you can see a progress bar is 30% basically. It will be like around 25 to 27 because we haven't added assignment. So you can see around 25% of growth after marking your day one attendance. Now, you just again, I'll make sure to tell you that you just have to mark your attendance for 3 days, right, to get that certificate. Now, to get eligible for that certificate, you need at least 50% of your progress. So, if you want to increase that progress, you can submit your assignments tomorrow and day after tomorrow that we have on day 3 and day 2, right? So that's all for the certificate what you need. The certificate will be like you can download the certificate after day 3, completing our day 3, right? So when you complete your day 3's all the things of learning and project and problem solving, you can download your certificate from here. You just need 50 LU coins to download that. Now how you can earn that LU coins? LU coins is our private currency which we use as a, you can say, like transactional part of LetsUpgrade, so we can distribute the certificates to only eligible students who are actually attending and like doing the assignments part, right? So for that, you just need to mark your attendance and again submit your assignment. You will get 50 coins, like doing these 3 or 5 things, right? Now, if you want to join our community of developers, where we have a WhatsApp communities, where we have a lot of developers, you can like chat with them. You can have a lot of communication with them on Telegram, and WhatsApp is for like all the reminders. This is the essential we are launching. These are the programs we have, and we are actually offer some of the like discounts here and there. So you can join that to get stay tuned and get all the updates about that discounts or programs what we have, right? So I'll introduce our trainer for today, Abhishek sir. Let me stop my sharing. Mm, And hi Abhishek sir, how are you?
Hi Sandesh, I'm good.
Hi. So, can you just tell all the students and me too why we should learn DSA if
Uh,
we want to get into tech, right?
like most of the legendary companies are using DSA and not DSA, it is Java. Most of are using Java. And if you are applying for some product-based companies, some good companies, there the procedure of interview is like the first and second round you have to be giving for the DSA one, right? So they will test your problem solving skills. It is not about the language they ask, but they will see like how your skills is there, right? How you can approach a particular problem. So that's why DSA is very important, and yeah, like everyone must learn DSA not for the interview purpose, but when you are implementing the project at that time also, it helps a lot to crack
I
any problem statement.
I think if you want to get into tech and if you want to
Yeah,
crack that Amazon or Apple wala interview, then we should know DSA. There is no option for that, right?
I,
So
yeah.
So bye bye guys. I'll take a leave. You have like a lot of fun with Abhishek sir, and I hope that you learn Java and DSA after these 3 days and 6 hours of live learning. If you have any doubts, just tell us the doubt in the YouTube chat box. If you can't like access the chat box, just make sure to subscribe to the channel. Then you can get the access for chat box. Bye bye sir. Bye.
Thank you. Okay, great. Uh, so let's start our session, guys. Good evening, everyone. Yeah, it will be 2 hour session on 3 days. And first day we are going to discuss about the basics part. Okay, about the control statement, about the variable part, and we are taking one problem statement, and we are going to learn how we can why problem solving is important, why this you can say why observation is important, why time complexity is important. So we are going to discuss about these things in today session, okay? And the tomorrow session will be based on the array. So we will be covering that part in the tomorrow session, guys. Okay? Yeah. So Prashant sir is here.
How are you?
I'm good, sir.
Sir, actually, I guess you're mute. I'm not able to hear you. Just a minute. Yeah,
Uh,
now. Yeah, now I can hear. So, hi guys.
uh,
So sorry for interrupting basically the teaching. Right, just one thing I came. I'll just be here for 5 minutes. So, with Abhishek sir, right, you are planning something amazing. Just more than DSA, I think. So Abhishek sir will speak about it in a bit in the program once you start learning about Java and DSA. So I
Yes.
just came here to wish you the very best for this program, and make sure that guys, the next 3 days, right, I've cut down the program for 5 to 3 days, as Sandesh mentioned rightly, right? So next 3 days, make sure that you're just not learning what we're teaching live, but also practicing it after the session is over, right? Because that is going to be very important. As you guys, I guess you all guys are already giving you exams in college, right? And then placement season is going to start, and it is just around the corner, right? So DSA and basically Java or any other programming language will make a lot of impact in your career, right? And if you need even help in that, like cracking your interviews, right? So we have a program specially designed for cracking interviews, that is Java Interview Accelerator program. That is just going to be 3 months of rigorous Java and DSA, so that you can crack any good interview in a product based company, right? So it is available on the website. Just go to LetsUpgrade.in and scroll down to the Java program, right? And make sure that you're checking it out. If you have any queries regarding the same, Abhishek sir is here. He'll anyways explain that program in a while in the in the between. But check it out. The placements then just around the corner. And if you think that it is adding value to your career and the placement which are going to come for you, do join. And then basically there, I guess Abhishek sir actually has a lot of coding challenges as per the companies and the hard, you can say, the levels and everything planned for you, right sir?
Yes, yes.
Right. So with that, I'll take your leave. All the best for the next 3 days, and make sure that you are making DSA look easy for every other student in your college. Right. It is already so hard. So don't worry about it. And all the best again. Bye bye.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So, okay. So I can see a lot of students are there in the chat. So guys, can you write in the chat who all are complete beginner to this session, or who knows about something about DSA, something about data structure, something about algorithm. Okay. Not about any particular language, just like you know about something about data structures and algorithm, anything. Please write in the chat, or you're complete beginner, guys. Please write in the chat. Cracking JavaScript interview questions program, please launch. Rohit, in the future, we will be discussing on that part also, right? Yeah. So beginner, and like I am new here, a little bit knowledge on DSA. So guys, you are doing BTech or some other degree, or like you are in which year? Can you write in the chat? And from which cities you are from? Know something. I know about DSA using C++. Okay, great. Only array sorting. Okay, Naveen. Electric boys have basic understanding. You have BCA 2 year. Okay, great. BTech. Pass out I'm doing. Okay, Ahmedabad, Maharashtra. Great, great. So BTech people are there, and there are people from BCom also, BCA also, right? Yeah. Rajasthan. Okay. Galgotia University, Mannat. Okay, I have given one interview, like one interview was scheduled, and I have to go to Galgotia University. Uh, it is design of a program. Okay, great. I'm student at BCA. Great, great. DSA in which language? Sahil has a very good question here. Like, in which language we are going to discuss DSA? Basically, you can see like we are going to discuss DSA in Java. But your problem solving skills should be good. It does not depend on the language. Okay, the first thing they will ask you in the interview is about the approach you are going to solve that question. Okay, and that can be any language. If you're comfortable with Java, you can go with Java. If you're comfortable with Python, JavaScript, you can go with any language. Okay, everyone. C++, you can go with any language. Yeah. But Java adds an extra benefit because most of the companies use Java as the backend. So there you got a extra hand on it, right? Sir, why should we do DSA in Java or C++? If we had an option, okay, if you are complete beginner, okay, then you have to choose between C++ and Java, so you can go with Java, okay? Because in the market, there's a very good demand of Java, so you can start with the Java one. And if you have already learned C++, then there is no harm, guys. You can easily switch to Java also. You can easily switch to Python also, because C++ and C are base. So if you have the base clear, then language switching is very simple. Okay, so let's start our session, guys. Okay, without wasting our time, let's start our session. Let me share my screen. So today's agenda is clear, right? We are going to discuss about the basics of Java, about the control statement, about the loops part, about the if-else part, okay, about the variable parts, and about a problem statement that I'm going to discuss at the end of the session, guys. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay. My screen is visible, guys. Please write in the chat if it is visible and I'm audible, right? Okay, great. So those who know about control statement, those who know about variable and all, then they can answer in the chat. There are a lot of questions I will be asking during the session. So you can answer those questions, okay, guys? So here, let's start with the DSA part. Okay, that is first we are going to cover the basics. Okay, so here, let's start with the variable part, guys, right? Everyone, please write in the chat who all knows about variable. Who all knows about a variable? Anyone from the audience? I know. Basically, what is the answer, guys? Yes, you know, but can you write in the chat what is a variable? Variable is a container to store the data. Okay. Any other definition? Any other thing you know about variable? बंद कर दीजिएगा. Yeah. So, guys, can you confirm there is any background noise coming from my side? Okay, 1 minute, guys. Yeah. Clear voice. Yeah. Correct. So here is one person, he's saying Sahil is right. Name of memory location. So guys, variable is a named memory location. Okay, named memory location, and in that memory location we can store data. Okay, we can store data, and this memory location we can call it as container also. Right, everyone? So we have different data, like we have integer, we have character, we have decimal data, and we want to store that data so that we can use that data again and again, right? Basically, why we create a variable? First, to store the data. Why we are storing the data? So that we can use the data again and again, reusing the data. Yes, everyone? Okay. So let's cover some variable part here. That is, we have different variables and how we can store those variables, right? So basically, we have to, like, let's assume we have to store integer data, right? Integer data. So what we can do, we can say ki, hey, we have data 10 and I have to store the data 10 in a container, right, everyone? So how I can store that data 10 in a container? In Java, we write the syntax. The syntax is what? The data type. Okay. After that, we have the name of the variable. The name can be anything. Let's write the name as, okay, name here. Name of the variable. This is called declaration of a variable. Okay, declaration of variable. So let's try to understand this thing with the help of an example. Let's assume I have to store data 10, right? Yeah, let's assume I have to store the data 10. So this data is of which type? It is of integer type. So here the data type will be int. Okay, the data type will be int, and after that I have to write the name of the variable. Name can be anything, it is acting as an identifier. So here I can write the name as num. So what I have done, I have created a variable here, right? After creating a variable, what I can do, I can store the data. And in order to store the data, I can write like this: in num is equal to 10, and after that semicolon. This equal to is the assignment operator. Okay, this is the data, and this is a variable name, right? This is a variable name. So what we have done, first we have declared the variable, and after that we are initializing the value. Initialization we have done. Okay, so here we are using two lines. That is, first we are declaring the variable, and after that we are initializing the value. We can write these two lines in one line also. That is, we can write like this: int num is equal to 10, right? So here we are declaring and initializing at the same time, right? Declaration and initialization at the same time. So let's try to understand that part also. So what happens? The moment you will write int num is equal to 10, the moment this line will get executed, what will happen, guys? This is a data type, right? This is a data type. This is a name. This is assignment operator, and this is a data 10, right? So this data type provides us of a lot of information. The first information this data type provides us is about what kind of data we want to store inside the container. Okay, what kind of data we have to store inside container, right? Inside memory. And the second information this data type provides us is about what will be the size of the container, what will be the size of the memory block, right? Size of the memory block, right? Memory block. So this is the second information, that is kind, and after that size, right? Third is the range part. From what particular range to what particular range you can store the data inside the container, right, everyone? So these three parts are important about the data type. You must remember these three parts. And after that, for this case, for int num is equal to 10, right? For this case, what will happen? There will be a memory, right? There will be a memory. In that memory, what will happen? The first part is what kind of data we want to store inside the memory. For this example, we want to store integer kind of data, right? That's why we are using the data type as int. After that, size of the memory block, right? Here for int, it occupies 4 bytes. So the size is what? 4 byte. Byte is what? It is a unit to measure the memory block, right? The same way you have to, like, if you have to measure distance, you measure in kilometer, right? Similarly, if you have to measure memory, you can measure in byte, right? So 1 byte is equal to 8 bits, right? This part. So here what will happen? 4 byte will get allocated inside the computer memory. Okay, 4 byte will get allocated inside the computer memory, because integer occupies how many byte? It occupies 4 byte inside the computer memory, right? So we have the data 10, and this data 10 is in which format? It is in decimal format. This data 10 will get converted to the binary format. Okay, will get converted to the binary format. Binary format means 0 and 1, right? So this 10 will get converted to the binary format. So let's assume the binary format of 10 is 0 0 1. Okay, or you can write like this: key 1 1 0. Okay, 1010, like this, right? This one. So 1010. So the binary format, you can assume key for the binary format of 10, it is 1010. So this binary format data will get stored inside the computer memory, because our computer understand what? It understand 0 and 1. So this will get stored, and here the name of the memory block is num, right? Here you can see the name what we have given to this memory block, it is num, and there will be some address allocated to it, some address allocated to the memory block, and this address is in hexadecimal format. Hexadecimal format, right? So let's assume the starting address is 700. This will be 701, 702, 703, and this will be 704, right? 1 minute. Okay. Am I audible or? Can you guys confirm? Am I audible or not? Please write in the chat, guys, if I am audible or not. Yeah, I'm audible. So here, Tarun has one question. Is class used as data type, sir? Class is a user-defined data type. Okay, Tarun? Yeah, correct. So till this time, everyone is clear. What is this integer num? Int num is equal to 10. So we know how we can create a variable. How we can store an integer data. That is, we can write the syntax like this. Int num is equal to 10. This when this line will get executed, the data 10 will get converted to the binary format, and this binary format data will get stored in the memory that is allocated for this variable num. And here we know for int it occupies 4 bytes, right? So 4 byte of memory will get allocated inside the computer memory, right, everyone? So this is about the integer number, right? So let's move to the second part, that is character. So if I have to store character data, now I know how we can store the integer data, right? So let's try to understand about the character one also. So if I have to store the character data means data that is single character enclosed in a single quotes like this. This is a character data. Okay, B is a character data. Similarly, capital A is a character data. If I have to represent number as character, I can represent number as character like this. In single quotes, I have to write the character. Right, everyone? Explain about range. Hitesh, you can get the data about the range in the from the net itself. Okay, so here, let me share the screen also. So data type in Java, right here. So guys, here you can see we have the range part or not. So here you can see you can get the range part from here, right? This one. So for integer, the range is this one. Range is not important for now. Okay, it is important, but right now we are covering the basics, so you can manage that. Okay. So let's come back to the topic here. So now what we have to do? We are saying ki, hey, we have to store character data, and what we have discussed till now, any data that is a single character, if we are including that single character inside quotes, we are treating that as a character. So if I have to treat number as character, I have to write single digit, and that digit should be inside quotes, right? Single quotes. This is treated as character, right? If I will write like this 1 2 and in single quote, this is not a character because here we are using 2 digit, right, everyone? Here how many digits we are using? We are using 2 digits, so this is not treated as a character. Similarly, if I have to represent special characters, okay, special symbols as character, we can represent that part also, that is at the rate. Okay, similarly question mark I can represent as character like this. Okay, so these all are what? Characters. So if I have to store character data, what I can do, I have to write the data type as char. After that, ch, that is the name of the variable. The name can be anything. Here I'm taking ch, and after that the character data, right? So this is a syntax of storing character data. So what will happen here? Again, this char is a data type, and this provides us a good amount of information. That is, here we are storing character kind of data. Okay. The second information is what? About the size. So guys, how many byte character occupies? Please write in the chat. Okay. How many byte character occupies inside the computer memory? Anyone? 4 bits, 1 byte or 2 byte, guys? Please write in the chat. 1 byte or 2 byte? Okay. Correct. So character occupies how many byte? It occupies 2 byte inside the computer memory, right? So what will happen? We have the computer memory. Let's assume this one. What will happen? 2 byte will get allocated like this. Okay. And here each block is of 1 byte, right? Each block is of 1 byte. So let's assume the starting address is 800. This will be 801. This will be 802. The name of the memory block is ch. Okay. And this character, when the information is stored inside the computer memory, what will happen? This character will be converted to the ASCII code from the ASCII table. Okay. From the ASCII table, we have the ASCII table, and in that ASCII table, for each character we have the corresponding ASCII code. Okay. And this ASCII code will further get converted to the binary format. Okay. And this binary format data will get stored inside the memory block. Right, everyone? This binary format data will get stored inside the memory block. Let me show you the ASCII table also. So here what you have to type, ASCII table here, right? So let's open the image here. So this one, you can see, you can refer this table here, right? So here, if you will notice, we have this one, right? We have the characters like we have the characters, and corresponding to the character, we have the ASCII value that is in decimal format. For A, we have 97. For B, we have 98. For C, we have 99. Similarly, for capital A to Z, we have 65, 66, right? Similarly, here you can see for digits, we have the corresponding ASCII value. If you are treating digit as a character, that we have the corresponding ASCII value. Similarly, for the special symbols, you have the corresponding ASCII value, right, everyone? So for A, the ASCII value is what? 97. This 97 will get converted to the binary format. Let's assume the binary format of 97 is 10101102467. Okay, and 0 here. So this, let's assume this is a binary format. This data will get stored inside the computer memory. Right, everyone? Yeah. So this is about the character. Everyone is clear with the integer part and the character part. Okay, I am going a bit fast because we are spending more times on the problem statement, but we are revising the variables part and the control statement. So if you are facing any issue, please write in the chat. Okay, I will explain that part again, right? Everyone is clear about the character, how we can store the character data and how we can store the integer data, right, everyone? Yeah. Tarun, this I will tell you in the third session, like day 3, okay? Yeah, when we are discussing about the linked list and all. Okay, so now let's discuss about the decimal data, the number having decimal in it, right? Number having decimal in it, right, everyone? That is floating point data. Floating point data here. So guys, can you write in the chat how I can store floating point data, floating point number, right? That is 1.23, 2.7689, this, like this one, right? How we can store that part? Please write in the chat. Sahil is saying in which byte is stored? For which one you are talking about, sir? Sahil? Floating number, correct. So guys, how we can store the floating number? So here, okay, what data type I should use for the floating point number? So we have two data type, that is float. Either we can store the floating point number in a float or in double, right? So we can write like this, float, and let's assume the name of the variable is f is equal to 1.234, okay, like this, and double d is equal to 2.3456. Okay, so guys, can you write in the chat, okay, how many byte this will occupy? Here what kind of data we are storing? Floating point data, right? Floating point data, and here also we are storing floating point data, right? And here the second thing is what? Yeah, second thing is what? Here float occupies 4 byte inside the computer memory, right? And double occupies 8 byte inside the computer memory, right everyone? After that, the third difference is what between float and double? In float, you can print up to 6 decimal digit, right? 6 decimal digit. Okay, after decimal you can print up to, after decimal you can print up to 6 digit, right? And here after decimal you can print up to 15 digits, right? Digits. Can you guys write in the chat? I have one question now. In Java, by default, floating point data are float or double. Okay, in Java, by default, floating point data are float or double. Please write in the chat. Okay, till that time, here I am using online compiler. Okay, let me introduce with the compiler also. That is here this one, right? So you can use any compiler, whether online or offline. Okay, for this session, we are going with the online compiler here, right? So here we can write a Java online compiler. And you can get a lot of link. You can open the first one. Okay, correct. So most of you are correct. By default, floating point numbers are double, right? So guys, here if I have to store the data, that is let's assume if I have to store floating point data and I'm writing this line, double d is equal to 1.2345678, okay? And after that, if I have to print, if I have to print anything on the output screen, I have to use system.out.println in Java, right? In C++, we are using cout. In C, we are using printf, right, everyone? And in JavaScript, if I have to console log anything, we are using console.log, right? Similarly, if I have to print any output on the output screen, okay, I have to use system.out.println here, right? So let's copy this line and this one, right? This one. And yeah, so here you can see if you have to print any English statement, you have to enclose that English statement within double quotes, right? Here, like this, hello world. So if I will say, hey, I have to print a variable, then you don't have to enclose that variable in double quotes. You have to just write the name of the variable. Here the name of the variable is what? D. So I will write D here, right? And I'm done with the code. Let's run the code. Let's see what output I'm getting here. So I am getting 1.2345678 correct, no issue till now, right? Yeah, no issue till now. And Khushi is saying ki, hey, if you have to include variable plus some English statement, you can use plus operator to concatenate both of them, right? So here I can write like this, that is the value. Okay, I have to print some message also, the value of, okay, in double quotes, and after that plus D. Okay, so what I am doing, I am printing English statement with variable. So here, when I'm printing English statement, I have to enclose in double quotes. And when I'm printing variable, I have to just write the name of the variable. When I'm using both of them, I have to concatenate with the help of a plus operator here, right? So let's run the code. So here I'm getting the correct answer. No issue till now, right? But what will happen now? Please write in the chat. If I will now store this one, float f is equal to 1.23456, right? This one, and here f. Please write in the chat, guys, what output I will get now. Let's see. Those who know about Java, okay, those who know about something about DSA, they will be like able to answer this question, right? Error. It will show error. What kind of error, guys? If you are saying error, then what kind of error and why? Okay, the main reason is why. Why we get this kind of error? Show error. Anyone is saying ki we will get the correct answer, unsupported format. Narela, why you are saying unsupported? Hello, 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 hello. Yeah. Now I'm audible. Please write in the chat if I'm audible or not. Hello. Yes, done, sir. Yeah. Okay, great. So let me share my screen. Please answer this question. Okay. So most of you are saying we will get an error, and let's see. Let's try to run the code. Okay. Yeah, this one, right? So here, let's run the code and let's see what output I will get. So we are getting one error here, right? And this error is what? Incompatible type, that is possibly loosely conversion from double to float. Why we are getting this error, guys? If by default double, so we can declare it as float. Correct. This information is correct. So here they are saying ki, hey, like I'm getting the answer from the audience. They are saying ki, since by default Java treat floating point number as double, and what you are doing, you are storing double data to a float. That's why you are getting this error, right? But let's try to understand this part key, why this is giving us an error, right? So here, what you are doing, you are doing this one, right? That is, you are writing float f is equal to 1.234, right? Like this. And you are saying ki this data, this floating point number are treated as double in Java by default, right? By default. Okay. So here, this one. So guys, what we have discussed till now, float occupies how many byte? 4 byte, right? Double occupies how many byte? 8 byte, right everyone? So what we are trying to do, we have a container, okay? We have a container of 8 byte, right? And we have one more container of 4 byte, right? We have a container of 8 byte and we have a container of 4 byte, right? This is for float and this is for double, right? And what we are trying to do, we are trying to store the information, that is, we are trying to take the data of double and we are trying to store that data inside float. That is, we are trying to store the information of double into smaller container, that is float. Okay, let's assume you have some water in it, right? Some water in it, and what you are doing, you are transferring the water from a bigger container to a smaller container, right? So let's assume if you have 7 liter of water, what will happen, guys? 4 liter of water will get stored, but the remaining water will be overflowed, right? Overflow. The remaining water will be overflow. So here, what we are having? We are having the probability of loss of data, right? Probability of loss of data. Why probability of loss of data? You can see we are having 8 byte, right? We have 8 byte container and we are trying to take the data of 8 byte container and we are trying to store that data in a 4 byte container. So there is a probability of loss of data. Everyone is clear till this point? Yes or no? Correct. So here, when there is a probability of loss of data, my compiler will say ki, hey, I will not do this kind of conversion. I will not do this kind of conversion because there is a chance of loss of data. When there is a chance of loss of data, compiler will not take care of this kind of conversion, and we programmer have to take care of this kind of conversion, right? And when the programmer is taking care of this kind of conversion, how programmer will do that part? He will explicitly typecast it, right? He will explicitly typecast it. So here, uh, this one, 1 minute, guys, right? So this one and here. So what we have to do, since there is a probability of loss of data and our compiler is not taking care of this kind of conversion, so we have to typecast it. And here what we have to do, this data is of double type and we want to store in a float container. So what we will do, we will typecast it to float here, right? And let's try to run the code. So here you can see we are getting the correct answer now, right? 1.234. 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, everyone? And since we are explicitly typecasting it, we are explicitly taking care of it, this type of conversion is called explicit type conversion. Right? This type of conversion is called what? Explicit type conversion. Right? First point. The second point is what? You can observe what we are doing. We are transferring the data from a larger container to a smaller container, right? So when you are doing the assignment of data from a larger data type to a smaller data type container, then there is a probability of loss of data. And when there is a probability of loss of data, compiler will not take care of this kind of conversion, and we have to take care of this type of conversion, and that's why it's called explicit type conversion. Right, everyone? Yes or no? Please write in the chat if it is clear or not. So you can either typecast it, that is, you can write float as a prefix in front of the data, or what you can do in float and double case, you can write f also here, right? So you can write f as a suffix here, right? So let's run the code and see whether it is working or not, right? So it is working now. Everyone is clear? Everyone is clear with the float? Everyone is clear with the double? Okay, so let's try to understand that part also about this one. Key float can print up to 6 digit after decimal, and double can print up to 15 digit after decimal. Okay, so let's try to write some extra data here, right? That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, right? Let's try to see what output I will get now. So guys, you can see, so up to 6 digit I am getting the correct information, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Up to 6 digit after decimal we are getting correct information. That's why float is supported up to 6 decimal digit, right? Yeah. And similarly for double, you can check that part by your own, right? So we are clear with the float, we are clear with the double, we are clear with the integer character, and we are clear with the explicit typecasting also, right? So now let's increase the level and let's move to the next part, that is control statement, right? So guys, can you write in the chat what is this control statement and why we need a control statement? Okay, please write in the chat. Control statement, anyone from the audience? Why we need a control statement? And guys, there is a concept of class and object that I am skipping right now. Okay, I will discuss that class and object in the day 3 session. Okay, when we are discussing about the linked list. The control statement is the control is correct. So when you have to control the flow of a program, okay, control the flow of execution, then you have to use control statement. But why we have to control the flow of the execution? Because by default in Java, in C++, in C, what happens? The execution happens in a sequential order. Sequential order. That is, there is an entry point from where the execution will start. Entry point from where the execution will start. And in C, C++, and in Java, the entry point is what? The main function, from where the execution will start. And from this entry point, you will execute the code line by line. That is in sequential order from top to bottom. Right? Everyone is clear? Then why we need why we need to control the flow of execution? There will be cases when you are solving any problem statement, there will be cases when you have to skip a part of a code. Okay, skip a part of a code on the basis of some condition, right? On the basis of some condition. Or there may be some cases where you have to execute the same logic again and again. Execute the same logic again and again, right? Or there may be some cases where you have to jump from one part of a code to another part of a code. Jump from one part to another part of a code. right? To tackle these situations, that is situation 1, situation 2, situation 3, we have control statement, right? So to tackle the first part, we have selection statement, right? We have selection statement, that is our if else if, right? We have switch case. To tackle the second part, we have iterative statement, that is our loop, that is for loop, while loop, do while loop, okay? And to tackle the third part, we have jump statement, that is our continue, break keyword, return keyword, right everyone? Yes or no? Please write in the chat. So guys from the audience, please write in the chat who all knows about selection statement. Please write in the chat. Everyone is having clear idea about selection statement, so I can take a good question if audience know about selection statement, right? I know. Anyone from the audience, those who don't have any idea about the selection statement, like basic understanding? Okay. So let's start with the, I don't, I have no idea. No, sir. So there are some people who don't have any idea. So we will start from the if else. Okay. So here, first one is what? If else, right? So guys, when I can use if else? Anyone? Okay, those who have understanding about if else, please write in the chat, guys. When I can use if else? In which uh, scenario? In which problem statement? Okay, I can use if else. Yeah, we are discussing about the selection statement itself. Okay, selection statement. So the first selection statement is what? If else. Correct. Correct. Okay. So guys, when we have only two options available, okay, two options available, and I have to choose only one option among them, only one option or condition among them, then I can go with if else, right? So the syntax is very simple, that is you have to use if, after that round bracket, inside the round bracket you have to write the condition part, right? Open bracket, curly bracket and close curly bracket. Here you have to write the body. After that you have the else part. In the else part you are writing the body of else, right? Simple. Yes or no? Body of if, right? So here, this is the syntax here. What happens? The condition will be checked. If the condition is true, then you will move inside the body of if, you will execute the body of if the condition is true. And after executing the body of if, you will skip the else part, right? You will skip the else part. Everyone is getting that point? Yes or no? Similarly, if the condition is false here, if the condition is false here, then you will directly jump to the else part. That is, you will skip the body of if and you will execute the body of else when the condition is false. So here, on the basis of a condition, you are either executing the body of if or you are executing the body of else. That is, let's try to understand this with the help of example here, right? Okay. So what I have to do, I have a number. Let's assume I have a number and this number is 17. I have to print whether the number is even or odd, right? Yeah, I have to print the number is even or odd, right everyone? So here you can see I have only two options available. Either the number is even or the number is odd here, right everyone? Yeah. So I have two options available, either the number is even or the number is odd, right? And I have to choose only one option among them. And that option I can choose on the basis of a condition. And the condition is what? that is num modulo 2. If it is equal to 0, that means the number is even, if the condition is true, right? And if the condition is false, the number is odd. Everyone is having the idea of modulo operator, guys. What is this modulo operator and why I have written this syntax? Yeah, it is like you take a number, let's assume the number is 17, right? You are dividing 17 with 2. So 2 8s are 16 and you are getting some remainder here, right? So this remainder, this is a remainder, this is a quotient here, right? Quotient here. So if you are writing like this, that is 17 divided by 2, you will get the quotient part, that is 8 you will get. If you want the remainder, you will write like this, 17 modulo 2, you will get the remainder part. And why I have written 0? Okay, so if the number is completely, if 2 is completely dividing that number, that means you will get the remainder as 0. If 2 is dividing the number completely, okay, what is the meaning of even number, guys? Even number are those numbers that are completely divisible by 2, right? And in order to check whether the number is even or odd, what we have to do, we have to check the remainder. If the remainder is 0, that means that number is completely divisible, right, everyone? So here I am writing the same thing, right? That is num modulo 2 is equal to 0. And if this condition is true, I will print even, else I will print odd here, right? So let's try to code this part also, then we will move to the if, else if and nested if, right? So here I will take a number, that is int num is equal to 17. Okay, you can take any number. After that, here I will write a check, that is int if num modulo 2 is equal to 0. So here I will print system.out.println, right? And here I will print the number is even number, right? Else I will print the number is odd, right? Odd number. So this is about the even and odd. So what will happen? Let's try to dry run the code. Yeah, this one, right? So here I have 17, right? So what we are doing, we are going to the if. Inside the if, we are going to the condition. Here the condition is what? 17 modulo 2 is equal to 0, right? 17 modulo 2 will give me 1. 1 is equal to 0. That means it is false. If the condition is false, that means you will go to the else part. Okay, that means you will execute the body of else part if the condition is false, right? So odd will get printed on the output screen. Let's see the answer also, right? So here, okay, let's run the code. So we are getting odd on the output screen, right? So if I will take a number that is completely divisible by 2, let's take 8, right? 8 is completely divisible by 2 and 8 is an even number also, right? Let's run the code again. Let's see. This time the condition is true and I will get even on the output screen, right, everyone? Yes or no? So this is about if else, that is two options available and you have to choose only one option among them. Go with if else, right? Let's move to the second question, that is ATM machine. Okay, from the audience, anyone has already done that ATM machine code? Okay, please write in the chat yes or no, guys. Anyone has implemented this ATM machine code? ATM machine. Correct. So like everyone has used ATM machine, right? Khushi has done that part. Yeah, correct. So guys, everyone has used the ATM machines, right? In the ATM machine, what we have? We have some options, right? That is option 1. Okay, option 1 is what? Either you can add money to the bank balance, add amount, okay, to the bank balance, right? The second option is what? Option 2 is what, guys? You can add or credit, right? And the second option is what? You can debit the amount from the bank balance, right? Debit amount from the bank balance. And here also what we have two cases. If let's assume we have some amount in the bank balance, right? Let's assume there is 3,000 rupees. Okay, initially 3,000 rupees is present inside my bank balance, right? So when you are debiting the amount, if the amount you want to debit is greater than the bank balance amount, then you print insufficient fund on the output screen, right? Insufficient fund on the output screen. You get this message, right? Insufficient fund on the output screen if the amount you want to debit is greater than the bank balance, right? And if the amount is less than equal to the bank balance, you can withdraw the amount, right? You can withdraw the amount. So you have option 1, you have option 2. Let's assume you have one more option, that is option 3, right? Okay, let's assume you have not entered 1 and you have not entered 2, right? In that case, what will happen? You have to print invalid option, right? Invalid option. So guys, what we have discussed, what we have learned till now, we have learned ki, hey, if I have two options available and I have to choose one option among them, I can do that part with the help of if else, right? So here in this scenario, here we are having three options available, right? And in the debit amount part, in the debit amount case, we have two options available and we have to choose only one option among them on the basis of this condition, whether the amount is greater than bank balance, the amount you want to withdraw is greater than bank balance or not. So what you can do, you can handle this part with the help of if else, because here you have only two options available and you have to choose one option among them. But in this case, that is option 1, option 2, option 3, you have more than two options available. So guys, when you have more than two options available, okay, and you have to choose only one option among them, more than two options available and you have to choose one option among them, one option among them, then you can use if else if, right? If else if. Okay everyone, yes or no? If else if. Yeah, so yeah, you can do that part with the help of switch case also, right? So we are discussing about if else if, so we are going to solve this question with the help of if else if, right? So this one, and let's discuss the syntax also, those who don't know about if else if. So what happens guys in if else if, we have the if, and after that we have the condition part, that is condition 1, and after that, okay, body of if, we have the else if part, condition 2, body of if 2, right? Similarly, we have multiple else if condition, right? We have multiple else if condition here like this, and at the end we have else part, right? Body of else, right? So what happens, the moment, like you will start from top and you will go downward, right? You will check the first condition. Condition 1 is true, you will execute the code of condition 1 and you will skip the remaining else if else ladder. The moment the condition is true, moment condition of if is true, what you will do, you will execute the body of that corresponding if, and after executing the body of that corresponding if, you will skip the remaining else if letter, skip the remaining else if else ladder, right? Sorry, if else ladder, right? Yeah, this one. So here let's assume condition 1 is false. What will happen guys, if condition 1 is false, you will jump to the condition 2. Condition 2 will be checked. If the condition 2 is true, you will execute the body of condition this if, and after executing the body of this if, you will skip the remaining else if else ladder, right everyone? So let's come back to the question part, that is this one. Okay, so here, yeah, this one. So I got to know ki, hey, here I have three options available and I have to choose only one option among them. So what I can do, I can achieve that part with the help of if else if, right everyone? After that, yeah, here this part. This part I can achieve with the help of if else, right? And one more thing here, I want the input from the user. Please guys write in the chat how I can take input from the user. Till that time, let's introduce the concept of class and object now, right? Okay. So what is class and what is object? Okay, then I will go to the this part, that is how we can take input from the user, and then we're going to discuss about this question, right? Yeah, this ATM machine. What is class and object, guys? Please write in the chat. Anyone? What is class? What is object? Yeah, we can use scanner function to take input from the user. But my question is, what is class and object? Because I think like some of you might not know about how to take input from the user, right? Class is like a container. Class is a template to create an object. Okay, let's try to understand that part. Let's take Akshay here, right? So yeah, Akshay is here, and Akshay is like super rich, and Akshay got a, like, let's assume got a lottery here, and Akshay is very happy, right? This is Akshay here, right? Akshay is very happy, and Akshay want to build his dream house, right? Akshay want to build his dream house. So guys, can you tell me, after like he has money in his hand, okay, what he will do in order to build the house? What he will do? He will go to which person first? Please write in the chat. Okay, he will go to which person if he have to build the house? Yeah, yeah, everyone is correct. Object and like this is definition is correct. Contractor, Aditya, he will directly go to the contractor. Landowner, okay, like he bought the land and all, right? Okay, correct. He will go to the architecture first, right? Because he want the design, right? Which kind of house, how many floors are there, how many kitchens, how many halls, and how many bedrooms are there, right? So he will go to the architecture here, right? Architecture here. Okay, he will tell the design to the architecture ki hey, that is some, okay, he will tell him the information, what all information he want. Okay, that is 1 minute, yeah. So he will tell the design or template. Okay, template of the house, right? Design and template of the house. Okay, that design and template will contain what? This design and template will contain what, guys? It will contain functionality of the house, properties of the house, right? Functionality and property of the house, properties of the house, right? So after finalizing the design or template, okay, he will go to the contractor. Okay, contractor with their worker will start building, like will start working on the house part, and they will construct the house, right? This is the house that Akshay want, right? This one. Okay, after that, so here the house is built and it is like, okay, like everything is built here. Now Akshay is happy and Akshay will go to the house and he will live his life there, right? He will use the properties, he will use the functionality of the house the moment the house is built. Okay, when the house is not there, he just know the design, he is not able to use the functionality and property of the house, right? The moment the house is built, he can use the functionality and property of the house, right? Everyone, yes or no, it is clear? Please write in the chat if it is clear or not. So here, this part, this design or template is called class in Java, right? It's called class in programming world, right? And this functionality is called member function. Okay, this property is called data member. Okay, there is some requirement that will be there from the client. Okay, client will client will ask for the requirement to the programmer. Programmer will design the template or the blueprint of the house. That template or blueprint contains the member functions and data member. And in order, this client, this Akshay wants to use the member function, the Akshay wants to use the property. So we have to create the object. This is the object. The house that is constructed, the house that is ready, the house that Akshay is using, that is the object. That one is the real world entity. Okay. And this object in Java is created by JVM. That is your Java virtual machine. Right, everyone? So with the help of object, you can access the properties and functionality of a class. Right, everyone? So here, everyone is getting that point? Yes or no? What is class? What is object? Okay. So please write in the chat if it is clear. This is a very important point. Key, you have to create the object if you want to use the member function, if you want to use the data member of a class, right? So similarly, now let's move to the, okay, why I'm discussing these all things. Okay, let's try to conclude that part. Now I have to take input from the user, right? Input from the user. So in order to take input from the user, okay, there is a class that is already defined. Okay, you have to just use the object of the class. Sorry, you have to just use the functionality of the class. And here some functionality is already written in that class, and the name of the class is scanner, right? So what happens? Let's assume Akshay is there, right? Akshay is there, and Akshay wants to like type something, right? In order to take input from the user, what we do, guys? Here we type something on the keyboard, right? The moment we type something on the keyboard, what will happen? It will get stored and it will get executed by the processor, right? So in order to take input from the user, here our input device is what? Our standard input device is what? This keyboard, right? So what happens? The moment Akshay is typing something on the keyboard, that something will get stored inside the buffer. Buffer, you can assume like a storage area that stored that something in a buffer. I'm not going into the deep dive how this thing are getting stored. Okay, just you have to remember key that something will get stored inside the buffer. And here, here what you want? Let's assume you want the data in integer format. Okay, you want the data in integer format. So there are some methods that fetch the data from the buffer and convert that data to the integer format. And the code of that method is written inside the scanner class. Scanner is a class. In that scanner class, there is some data member and member function. The member function is what? That member function is what? Next int. Okay, next int, and the code of next int is written here. Okay, you have to just use this next int method in order to take the data from the buffer and convert that data into integer. If you want the data as boolean double, right? Let's assume you want that data as double. So you have to use a method that is defined inside the scanner class, that is next double, right? Similarly, if you want to use the data as a 1 minute, guys, let me plug in the charger. Yeah. Similarly, if you want the data as a float or string, then you can use line. Okay, string here, right? String. Then you can use next line. Okay, next line. Okay, or next method, right? So here, this one. And similarly, there are a lot of method. You can Google that method and you will get to know. Okay, so what we are doing, we are taking the data from the buffer, converting that data to the respective data type, that is integer, double, float, boolean, right? And who is doing that part? This thing is already taken care by the programmer. They have already written the code, and that functionality they have implemented in the scanner class. And Akshay is here. Akshay want to use a functionality. Akshay want to use the properties of the house. How he will use? He will first create the object of a scanner class. Okay, object of scanner class. And after creating the object of a scanner class, he will use the properties, he will use the functionality that are defined inside the scanner class, right? So how Akshay will create the object? He has to write a syntax. The syntax is what? The name of the class. Here, the name of the class is what? Scanner. Okay. After that, he has to write the reference variable. Okay, this is a reference variable equal to new scanner. Okay, system dot in, right? System dot in. So this system.in is responsible to take the input from the standard input device, that is your keyboard, right, and store that information into the buffer. Okay, this new scanner is responsible to allocate memory inside the JVM, right? Right. This is responsible for creating the object by the JVM. This SC is a reference variable with the help of which we can access the data member the member functions, okay, and data members of a class. So here this is a class name, right everyone? So now I have to use a method that are already inside the scanner class. How I can use? I have to write the reference variable, that is sc. After that I have to write the dot operator, and since I want the data in the integer format, I will use the next int method like this. Okay, like this. If I want the data in character format, I will use sc.nextchar. Right, everyone? With the help of the reference variable, I can access the member functions and data member that are already defined inside the class scanner. Everyone is clear now? Yes or no? And this next int, and after doing this part, this will give me the data that is in the integer format, and this integer format I have to store somewhere, and that somewhere is what we know. We can store the integer data in a variable, and that variable is what I have to write int, and after that the name of the variable. Similarly, if I want to store the character data, what will happen? I will use char, and after that ch, like this, right? So the data from the buffer will get converted to the respective data type, and after that that data will get stored inside the variable part, right? Okay. Okay. So Joy, Chakravarti, right? So Chakravarti, try to see like how you can use a delimiter, right? So basically the data is stored inside the buffer, right? So basically we have the delimiter that tells, that is either it will be the next line, or either this will be the space here, right? So that delimiter tells ki, hey, I have to stop now, right? So try to explore that part. Okay, you will get the answer. But now it is clear, guys. Let's move to the question part. Here what I need, yeah, 1 minute guys, let me see this one, right? So what we are implementing, this one, and first I have to create the object of a scanner class, that is scanner sc is equal to new scanner. Okay, and this will be system dot in, right? And after that we are back to the ATM machine, right, project, right? So here ATM machine we have to implement. So let's first do what? Let's print a message ki, hey, system dot out dot println, and here let's write a message that is enter 1 to add, 2 to subtract. If I am moving too fast, please write in the chat. If I am skipping something, please write in the chat. Okay, if you are not able to understand anything, please write in the chat, right? Because this session is for you guys. Try to be more interactive, try to answer more questions. Okay, so try to utilize this session, right? So enter 1 to add, 2 to subtract here, right? That is this one. And subtract means you want to debit, right? And add means you want to credit, right? So I have given a message here like this, right? This one. Yeah, we have to import the class first. Okay, like I have not written that line. I will write intentionally. I have not written that line, right? So here, so first I have given the message that is enter 1 to add, 2 to subtract here, right? After that I will create a variable int option. Okay, let's write the name of the variable as option. Okay, and I want the input from the user, right? And in order to take the input from the user, what I will use? I will use a reference variable, that is sc, after that dot, and I want the data in integer format, so next int, right? So sc dot next int, and that integer data will get stored inside the variable option of integer type, right everyone? And yeah, so basically here I have the scanner class, and in order to use a scanner class, I have to import the scanner class, and that scanner class is defined inside the package. The name of the package is what? I have to write import, after that java dot util dot scanner. Okay, scanner. So you can assume like this: you have a util package. Inside the util package, there is a class scanner defined, and you have to use that class. So in order to use the class, in order to use the object, you have to import the package like this. You have to write the import keyword here, right? Okay. So I have taken the option, that is input from the user, and after that, first what I will do? Let's move to the question. This one. First, I will handle this part. That is option 1, option 2, and option 3. This one, right? And how I can handle this part? With the help of if else, right? This one. So here I will write ki, hey, if option is equal to 1, I have to add. Okay. Else if option is equal to 2, I have to subtract. In the else part, I will handle the invalid option case, right? So let's try to understand, let's try to handle this one, right? The addition part. So let's try to create one variable, bank balance. Okay, bank balance. And let's assume we have initially 3,000 rupees in my bank account, right? So here I will write the message Uh, Hello. Sorry, guys. It is like there was some network issue from my side. Can you guys able to hear me? Are you guys able to hear me? Yes or no? Please write in the chat if you are able to hear me. Okay, great. Let me share my screen. Okay. 1 minute, guys. Cancel this one. Let me see why it is blurred. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Can you guys confirm whether my screen is visible or not? Please write in the chat. Yeah. So here, let me do that part, right? Yeah. Okay, great. So I have to write the code again because my laptop is not working. It is getting hanged. So let's write the code again, right? So what we are discussing? We are discussing about the ATM machine. So what we have done? We have created a scanner class. Okay, we have created the object that is scanner sc is equal to new scanner. And after that, we have what? We have system dot in. And after that, we have created one variable that is option variable, right? And we have taken the input from the user using the next int method, and we have called that next int method with the help of the sc reference variable, and we have printed the system.out.println, that is enter 1 to add, that is credit, right? 2 to debit, right? This one, 2 to debit here. And after that, here, yeah, so we have used if else if, that is if option is equal to 1, that means I want to add something, right? So here I will take a variable to store the initial amount, that is int bank balance is equal to 3000 rupees, let's assume. And after that, here I will write a check, that is hey, this one, and here I will write system.out.println, and enter the amount you want to add, right? Enter the amount to credit, right? This one.
If you have liked this Essentials program, which is giving you a confidence that you can become a developer, this is just a starting. You can enjoy this learning for at least next 6 months and also become a full stack web developer or a full stack data science person and crack a job end of the day. If you are interested for that program, just go check out LetsUpgrade's full stack program right now from the website. What are the key features of LetsUpgrade's full stack program? 3 key features of LetsUpgrade full stack program. Number 1, you get to learn everything live by an expert coming in from an industry. So this expert is working as a day job, and sham ke time, evening time, this guy is going to teach you in your classes. This cohort is going to be of only 20 students at the max. So lots of focus is there on you to make you an industry ready developer, and you can get jobs in 150 plus partner companies that we have got, that LetsUpgrade has got, NPCI, Red Cross and various other companies. Now talking about the second feature, you get to build 15 plus projects. These 15 projects will help you get the confidence that you can be the top-notch developer at any company. Let it be the FANG companies or the MANG companies, or let it be any tier 2 or a service-based or a product-based companies. Third and the last feature, we have an amazing job board where on a day-to-day basis, we get 10 to 20 job descriptions, JDs, job applications being uploaded by companies directly. You can go ahead and check out those all jobs, apply, and we will go and get you prepared for that interview. So this is the 3 things, 3 big USPs of LetsUpgrade's full stack program. Go join right now. You can avail a 20% straight discount. The price of this program is 36,600, but you can get this program for 29,600 right now. Go check it out and let's meet in your batch 1, which is happening this Saturday. Bye bye, take care, have a nice day.